pretty elaborate in its own way. So if you have to figure it out, what is actually need. Now look at this particular example. We have a scarcity of time, and we utilize our time differently for our work, pleasure, friends, etc. What we call balancing our time. Spend the thing that we have. We do this differently. So clothing, entertainment, touring, etc. We do it differently. Somebody prefers vacation into hill stations. Somebody prefers five-star properties, etc. Utilize what is available to us differently. So we try and utilize what is available to us differently. Say like at Mumbai, when we go to an amusement park, we prefer rides, while some will prefer the pool. So it's like despite having the same thing in front of you, you try to utilize it differently. Thus, we believe that each human beings are a unique set of individuals. So marketers can make consumers aware about their unfelt need. And so once you understand these aspects, then the task before a marketer is to make consumer always feel that one need to really know. So motivation is described as a driving force, in other words, simple word, driving force within an individual that propels him or impels him to action. Yani, I want to have a house, and then you get into it. You work out with your finance department, how much loan will they give. You work out with HDFC bank or any other bank to see how much loan will they get. You work out how much money you have. You work out how much will you save in terms of income tax and blah blah. And then you work out magic bricks and all those things. You start shortlisting areas, properties. So this is what it's a motivation. Driving force is a state of tension because it creates a desire to fulfill. And the desire to fulfill creates a kind of a stress on your mind, which will not allow you to rest till you really overcome that. So marketeers, therefore, when they understand this need fulfillment cycle of an individual, so what is actually a need, what is that the consumer trying to fulfill by meeting that need, if you understand that, then you try to create that stress or try to create that awareness in him, because this is what he was missing all along. So at this stage, it is very vital to note that the specific goals being pursued, and the course of action that a consumer takes are based on his thinking process. Please remember his upbringing, his exposure, his knowledge available, this thing, his ability to infer various things based on his experience and the knowledge. His state of motivation gets decided, what motivates him, and his state of motivation gets decided. So marketeer, it is very essential to understand that motivational cues, what is it that will give him a motivation. So that cues needs to be identified. Once you identify that cues and go and link it to the need that he is having it, that will arise in him the tension, so that he will set a goal for himself, and when goal is set, he will strive towards achieving that. After understanding what is need, as I said, we are trying to understand the interrelation between motivation and needs, etc. So we come to understand what is needs. So needs are something which is you want, you must have to fulfill your existence. So that is what, when you say, now they are either express need or they are innate needs. Innate needs are psychological. They are more than the biological body needs. Yani there is like food, water, and air, etc. is something that you need it, without which you cannot survive. While innate needs are something which is additional need. Yani. So while you are alive, then you will look for a shelter, you will look for clothing, etc. So you will need for physical satisfactions, etc. So those are those innate needs, which are psychological in nature, necessary to be fulfilled. So no doubt, your these needs are therefore necessary to be fulfilled. So they are known as a primary need. So first set of innate needs are a primary need. Acquired needs, of course, then comes the acquired needs. That is, we absorb by responding to our culture, our environment around us, etc., our experience, etc. You see somebody else wearing a smart shoes, or somebody else wearing smart belt or clothing lines, etc., or a branded clothing lines, etc. You also tend to. That's an acquired need, and overall both needs shut. But yes, now you started acquiring something which you feel, you stress yourself to be a need for you, which is an acquired need. So here the example is also given, which are different nature. Love, affection, status quo, progress, power are some of the prestige needs, which is what is a need that is acquired by most individuals. They look around other successful people and they want to be also successful. These are those acquired needs. Needs for security, friendship, education, dating, marriage have also been considered as an acquired need. Societal norms that is set around it makes it an acquired need for you. Okay, so this is the understanding of a primary needs versus what you call an acquired need. That one need to understand, because acquired needs are psychological in nature, more to do with the mind than the physical or body needs, etc. They are secondary needs. Primary needs gets evolved depending upon the exposure and the stature that one has. For someone, a room in a chawl is more than sufficient, while there is somebody who wants to give up now this room and move to the flat accommodation, because now he also has moved up in his life and therefore he considers this not appropriate to be in the chawl for himself. So that's how the change also that happens. The primary gets our need has a relevance to how the people evolve. So, and between two different people it may be different, and what may be primary for somebody may not be primary for the other. So now the third component, that is a goal. We have understood earlier motives and motivation and the needs, and now comes the goals. Goals are the express pursuit that will result in the need satisfaction. When it is acquired, it will result in satisfaction of your need. So therefore it's a motivated behavior. It's a behavior which is motivated, got triggered, got a stimuli to get it into a fire, etc. So if the thirst quenching is your need, so here I am trying to explain you, if thirst quenching is your need, the goal could be to buy a to drink a water. That's a goal. However, if you go for acquired mineral water, say like a mineral water, or maybe buy a soft drink, etc., you may buy a juice, etc., so that becomes the goal, a motivated goal or motivated behavior. In this few listed goals, to quench thirst having answer is a generic need. So quenching thirst is a generic need. Everyone feels thirsty. So now all the three levels have been covered, so to say, needs, goals and the motives we have understood. So various interrelationships also we have understood. So then comes the selection of the goal. So after that, the product that is aligned to meet the specific need relates to the self-image. So I generally select. So as I earlier also we have mentioned, personality and attitude drives. So that's where the self-image comes into picture. And when marketer is able to really align that self-image, so that need and the motivation and motive, this thing continuum along with the goal, when goals get set to the product goal which is aligned with the self-image of that person, they become successful. The product or the service gets accepted. So say for example, Ray-Ban for wealthy image conscious individuals, Colgate for economy class, say consumers. Not necessary. I'm just giving it as an example. Colgate Total will be very health conscious, or people about 45, 50, where they have to take care of so many things about their teeth. So then they feel that Colgate Total is the right product because it takes care of so many kind of things. So that's how selection goes. It matches with the self-image or self-need, etc. that person has. So this is what actually I was trying to tell you, the interdependence of the needs and the goal. Needs and goals are therefore interdependent. Now at the end, if you really understand that, that's the thing that is one need to, neither exists without the other. So nothing will materialize without the other. You have a need but you are lying low. So that's what we call a latent need. Latent needs can survive as it is for ages and decades because you have not put the goal behind, you have not put the force behind. People are often not as aware of their need as they are aware of their goals. A woman may not be aware about her psychological need, but she continues to buy anti-aging lotions. So she buys anti-aging lotions. It should keep me wrinkle free, it should keep me look appropriately good looking, etc. What actually the psychological force or the drive behind that is the goal, if you ask directly, they may not be able to answer. So that's another paradigm that one need to really understand between need and the goal. So I may be aware of my needs, but I am not aware of the goal. The way I am fulfilling my need, I am not aware of the goal behind. So both are interdependent, that is one, but this is also a reality. To further clarify our knowledge about interdependence of need and goals, The third point, interdependence. Individuals are often aware about their physiological need. I am more aware about my physical need. Then then my awareness about my social or psychological need. I may not know what my social needs are linked with my current product need, etc., or a psychological need behind. We will know our goals when we need food. So only when we are hungry we know that our goal is a food, or thirsty then we have our water. Subconsciously, however, our behavior leads us to satisfy our acquired needs. So subconsciously, but while I became hungry, simple food, roti, chapati and sabji would have served the purpose, but I go and order pizza, I go and order burger, I go and order from Zomato, because this is what has become an acquired need. Everyone is doing, so am I. Okay. This behavioral trait is exploited by the marketeers. No cooking July. They've gone to an extent. You see that Zomato latest said, no cooking July, up to 60% off. They are asking housewife, why are you cooking? 60% मेरे से discount लेके खाना मत खाओ मुझसे. खाना मत बनाओ. That is what they are saying. So look at how that acquired need is. Now every housewife is feeling that if she is cooking it in July, she is full. So you see, like they only pursue कि आज क्या मंगाएंगे Zomato से, आज यह मंगाएंगे. So you see how the acquired needs has shifted the behavior. Okay. So this is what marketers exploit. Marketers appeal to our subconscious mind, so they drive our goal to satisfy unfulfilled need. So when goal gets connected, you have a drive coming in, and drive will not take you towards a generic goal or a generic need. It will help you, it will drive you towards more acquired need fulfillment, more product conscious need, more self-image building need fulfillment. So that is what is a limitation in us is being exploited by the marketeer. So marketeers should know this art, how to play with this. So consciously also, we may not want to take a householder policies. I am giving a different example. Consciously, one aspect is the subconscious mind, the other is the conscious mind. We may not want to take a householder policy, but subconscious led fear in me that losing my prime property to any fire is going to be very, very risky. Therefore, I finally go and take the householder policy and against fire. So I have somehow consciously, subconsciously, I was driven away to buy this house, because finally my conscience also told me, okay, why take a risk? Buy now. So that's how I go into buying it. Subconsciously, I got aware earlier. The householder policy here, it prevents you from the fire loss, etc. But my conscious one-time mind was telling me, I don't need this kind of thing. But repeated exposure, when I hear from my peer group people, my conscious mind also started telling me, you must buy householder fire policy. And then I go and buy it. So that is what the marketing, advertising, constant hammering plays on to you.